that we carry in our store here. Like this one here is the moonflower seed that I'm going to be showing you how to seed today. One of the nice things about these seed packets is that if you open them up, you will actually find specific instructions on how to start the seed and kind of their preferences and things like that inside the seed packet, making it very handy. So for morning glories, they are a very large seed. They're also a very hard shelled seed. So for that, we want to soak them. So I've got just a little cup of water here. I'm going to drop them in there and soak them for 48 hours. So we're going to leave them like that for about 2 days. And actually when I started these seeds, a lot of them were already showing roots after the 2 days of soaking. Then after we've soaked them like that, we're going to transfer them into the soil. You can just use any kind of old pot you have or tray. Sometimes I even cut up my little packs out of the trays just when I'm starting very little seed and I don't need much room. The type of soil that you're going to use is going to depend on the size of seed that you're starting. So for these big morning glories, I don't really need a specific seed starting soil because they're so large, they'll germinate in just a regular potting soil, which is what I have in this pot here. So once we've let them soak, we're just going to water our soil and disperse them right in here. Morning glories don't like their roots disturbed, so it's best if you plant them and leave them for a while instead of transplanting them right away so that they can establish nice root growth before you're moving them and disrupting those roots. So I'm just going to kind of press them in there, and then once I have them in like that, I'm going to cover them with about 1 centimeter or so of soil. And because they have that hard shell, we don't want them drying out. So again, I'm going to water them and I'm going to keep them pretty moist in there until they've germinated. Once they've germinated, you can see this is the moonflower here. They've got a really giant shell and they grow pretty fast. These were started less than a month ago. And I'll just give you an idea how these are growing by pulling one out of the edge here. Here's one of our other morning glories. We've got nice root growth. At this point, you can definitely take it out of the pack and transplant it into your basket or container or wherever you want that to grow nice and large. When you're starting smaller seeds, you are going to need a finer germination mix like I put into this pack here. You can also start a lot of small seeds strictly in vermiculite. So this right here is an example of a small seed. They are very tiny. These are shamrocks, which are your lucky clover little foliage plant that are very popular. So when I'm starting something small like this, again, I'm just going to fill this with a nice fine germination mix. Then I'm going to water it. Get that nice and moist. And then very carefully, I'm just going to sprinkle my seed on top and water it in. You're not going to cover a small seed with any soil. So that's pretty much it. And when you're sprinkling it, you just want to try and make sure they aren't clumped together. Or when it comes to that transplanting stage, when you're ready to give them their individual spot to grow, it's going to be pretty tricky to get them apart if you dumped them all in one corner. So there's a little bit about seed starting for today. Have fun!